All right, let's go. Collab Gem. We're back at it again this week, and this week we have another guest.
Yes, sir.
Let's go for it. Let's play the intro and start this one.
Play the intro.
All right, man. Another week, another podcast. This week we got a really special guest, our very second guest,
Yep.
Mike Trampe. So if you guys don't know who Mike Trampe is, you'll soon know. Mike, what's up, man?
Fellas, what's going on, man? Thanks for having me on the show. I'm very excited to be here. I love talking to other like-minded people, so it should be good, man.
Yeah, man. We're really excited to have you on board. Obviously, like our podcast is mainly discussing music-related stuff, not only our experiences in the technical side of being a producer, but just music in general and the perspective that we have with artists as well. And we did have a guest a couple of weeks ago, Dank Zavala, who's a dope rapper coming up. And he gave us some cool insight on his perspective as an artist. And we're super excited to have you on board because you have a huge background in music industry in general. And so I'm pretty sure that there's a lot to learn from this episode. And we tried to come up with some topics to discuss with you, but
Yeah.
we were
It was
just
tough.
struggling to fit everything in one episode.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And it's like there's so much to talk about. Like, what exactly should we
Yeah.
talk
You could
about?
just go on for days and days, like for questions and what to
Exactly.
talk about.
Honestly, guys, you could have asked like one question. I probably could have talked for like 50 minutes straight if you
Yeah.
if you let me, because I'm always down for a conversation. That's I
Yeah.
mean, communication is key. I think in anything in life in general, but business specifically, and being a producer, artist, anything you want to call it. So that's why I talk a lot.
100%. No, but that's cool, bro, because there's so much that everyone has to learn within music as a producer, as an artist, as an A&R, as whatever it is that you're doing. And so getting as much as insight as possible in all of these different areas, it's always a really good experience. So I'm gonna give you room and just let the people know who you are, where you come from, and all that, bro.
Yeah. I appreciate the opportunity to get you tell my story. It's always fun. It's always different too, because I always remember certain things I didn't tell in the last time someone asked me what my story was. But I'll try to get as accurate as possible. So born and raised in like Philadelphia and then the Philadelphia surrounding area. I lived there throughout my whole life. I really got into music, when I want to say like 8 or 9, but it's like, how much you really remember from your childhood at that time, right? When you get older. So I feel like it's around that age, but I had an older sister that was really into hip hop, and she's the one who kind of put me onto it. And we're talking, so if I'm 8 or 9, we're talking like 1989, 1990, 1991. So coming up at that time, as I listened to more music, and funny enough, one of the artists that I listened to a lot when I was young was Will Smith. So, with all this Will Smith stuff going on nowadays, it's just funny to me because it's like, yo, Will's been the same. Like, he made You Saw My Blinker, Bitch. And like, everyone thinks this Will is like somebody who doesn't curse and stuff. But
Yeah.
he made that song back in 1989 on his album with DJ Jazzy Jeff. So anywho, so I got into him. When I heard a lot of stuff from him, I was like, oh, and he's from Philly. This is so cool. I just got more into music. So I think around like 12 or 13, my parents bought me turntables. So I immediately started just like DJing and stuff, or trying to DJ. Turntables strictly are using vinyl. So I'd go to the record store, save my money to buy records, like, any way I could do it, go down with my friends to the store, whatever it was. So we were always getting vinyls and stuff. So obviously doing that, on vinyls, you would get the instrumental version, the acapella version, a whole different type of things on the vinyl. So from there, I would just pretty much make mashups and then start trying to rap over the instrumentals and having my friends over, and we be rapping over the instrumentals. So that's really like how I got into music, dude. Like overall was just kind of that from my sister's influence, and then actually starting to do it. So I guess from like 13 on, I was like a DJ / rapper. And that's what I wanted to be. And that's kind of what I worked on. But as I got older, I got more into like non-artist stuff. And, started managing my friends who were producers, and like, what I mean? I'm only like 17, 18, 19, doing this. So as I went along, I had no idea what I was doing. You know what I mean? I would be like, yeah, I'm their manager, but like, I didn't know what that meant.
Mhm.
But that was like, cause I didn't really I was a good rapper, but like, I didn't think I would make it. Right. You know what I mean? Like I was just real myself, like, yo, you're dope, but one, you're white. Like, it wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even think Eminem had come along. I think Eminem had just kind of came along, but you know what I mean? It wasn't a lot of white rappers doing their thing. So there was like that aspect, as well as just I didn't think I was better than a lot of my friends even. So, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, I can help them more. So I'm not selfish and just think, oh, my shit's the best. I was kind of realistic and said, okay, I can help them more by how good I am with people, right? Like, I have good relationship skills and I'm a very loyal person and I do good business, like all these different things that sometimes some of the people I worked with didn't have those skills, right? But they were a better producer, a better rapper, whatever. So I kind of took that role. So I did everything from just like managing my friends to like we did local hip hop shows. We'd rent out bars and clubs and, you know, all sorts of different stuff. So eventually, like a bunch of my producers won a bunch of beat battles, say like 2006 ish. They won a bunch of beat battles. So I met some guys from New York. This place called iStandard Producers. It was a big thing in the producer industry back then.
Oh,
yeah. So I became the owner to this day is one of my good friends. And he's just a great guy. He's fighting cancer right now, so keep him in your prayers, please.
Shit.
Yeah, but it's
prayers up for him.
yeah. So it's like so I met him and I brought all my producers through, and he's just like, dude, like, who are you? Like, I'm just like, he's like, do you like breed producers? He's like, how are all your producers winning these beat battles? And these are just like dudes I knew from growing up, like in my neighborhood or a different neighborhood. It's like, I don't know, it's like my friends, like they're dope. So I started building a relationship with him, and then at the same time, we opened up a studio, me and a couple other people. So we had artists coming through, like Meek Mill came through my studio. He was only there like once or twice, but we had a lot of Philly rappers. Like, if you don't know Philly hip hop history, you probably won't know these people, but like Cheek Raw, I think like NH, a dude named Kaboom. Like, there was just a lot.
Yep. I know Kaboom,
yeah, me too.
Ness, while he was like, after he did the Making the Band show. So just a lot of people would come through. So it started building just a lot more of a rapport and how to build a business and just kind of how to, again, interact with people, how to add value, but also get value in return. And then from there, there was a website called HipHopDX.com that I loved. It was where I wanted every day to read about hip hop news. So this is like, you know, probably between 2002, 3, whenever they were founded. I think they were founded in 98, if I'm not mistaken. But I think it was like 2003, a couple of years after when they're really getting big. You know, you would see an artist on there and, dude, if it was a dope song, next week they'd have a record deal. Like, people were getting signed off of getting to put on these front pages. It's crazy. So anywho, so I applied for an internship and, you know, I got it. And, you know, the job was to hand out flyers and like take pictures with people with the HipHopDX shit and, you know, like holding the flyers or whatever it was. So I did that, but I was just like, yo, like, I'm going to all these beat battles. I'm meeting all these people. I have a studio. I know people who own barbershops. I know people own food places and bars in Philly. So, dude, I just want literally all around Philly. I pretty much almost touched the whole entire Philly, from north to northeast to south to even west. Like, I was everywhere. And I basically just had all these different people holding up stuff. But it was like I cut everything up into a video and put dope music that I liked in it. So it was like almost like a highlight reel. But it was all these, like, in the barber shop, like at the dope food place, at the, you know, whatever it was, at the studio, I had PD Crack. I had like all these Philly people holding it up, HipHopDX things too. And I made it into this like crazy video. So I submitted that and they're like blown away because I guess everybody else did the minimum. I ended up making two of these videos, bro. I went to tattoo shops. I was everywhere. Just people get everybody. So, and putting dope music that maybe they never heard of too from Philly. I highlighted like pretty much a lot of Philly artists. So from there, they asked me if I wanted a full-time job, but it was only part-time. It was like 20 hours a week. I'm like, hell yeah. So I was working at an Office Max at that time as the assistant store manager. I was making like 40, 50 grand a year, I think. So what they were offering me was a lot less. It was maybe like 20 something grand.
Mm.
But my luck, I guess I consider it luck now that I look back at it. When I was at Office Max, they said, yo, we're downsizing the company and restructuring it. There's no more assistant managers. You're going to go down to like head supervisor, but it's a $20,000 pay bump down. Like, it was just something crazy. They're like, or you can take this 6 month severance pay and then collect unemployment. So I said, severance pay, unemployment, here I come. So I'm out this bitch. That was my window, dude. So I can still be working at Office Max to this day, right? So I took it and I was like, I'm out of here. And basically from there, I just worked part-time for HipHopDX and just was going out every night, man, to like every beat battle and hip-hop events, throwing hip-hop events. studios, just traveling, just doing whatever I could to build up as much as I could for HipHopDX now that I work there to show and prove, but also just to build up my own Rolodex. So that continued. That was, I think, when Bush extended, when Bush was president, I think that's when he extended unemployment. So I think I got unemployment for like a year and a half. So I needed it though, because I've been on my own since I was like 18, man. So I've been living on my own since I was 18. So I've always provided for myself. So I really needed the money. So, and I was actively trying to build my career in the music industry. So I feel like I didn't take advantage of it, of course, you know what I mean? Like, but I think unemployment, you know what I mean? It's a whole other conversation, but you know what I mean? Can be taken advantage of and this, that, and the other. But I don't think I did, you know what I mean? Because I used that time to really build. But anyhow.
It's like an investment.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
And making, 18, 20 grand a year living by yourself, bro, you can't live off that shit. It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and to have a car and insurance, you know what I mean? So anyhow. So basically from there, I just grew in the HipHopDX company. And at that point, I don't think they had social media, maybe a Facebook. I really don't think they did though. So I started all their social media. I remember voting for it one year, at a company, not a party, but like a company like meet and greet type of thing where we'd go somewhere for a week and just work together in person because everything was remote, because they're in LA, I'm in Philly, like, there's people other places. So I remember we voted on it that social media was going to be like the next big wave in like the music scene. You know what I mean? So we voted to build all these accounts and actually spend time on it. Because I was doing like forums and like sending out packages. Like that's the type of shit I was doing as like a marketing assistant or whatever you want to call it. So I got moved over to like social media director once, it basically, everyone really like, holy shit, like this isn't going away. So I became full-time at that point and then just started, just building like my own, I think my Twitter handle was like Mike of HipHopDX. So like, you know what I mean? Like I was doing my thing, building on my rapport with everybody in the HipHopDX community. Cause just like BeatStars, dude, it was a community. So I grew the community on these social media channels by doing all sorts of fun interactive things and asking people and like whatever it is, like that's a very generic thing, but all these different things I would do a lot of fun stuff to make it fun about learning about hip-hop, sharing your history and your stories about hip-hop, what music you liked, etc. So dude, it really just took off and just really went crazy. So obviously social media managers are now like, everybody needs one, you know what I mean? So I was able to grow, like start their Twitter and really build their Facebook and all these different things over some time. And then I was there from 2007 through 2014. So seven years I was there for. But in those years, a lot of crazy stuff happened. I think it was like around 2007-ish, maybe 2008. I met this girl named Jen, and her name was Street Goddess, though. And she had a giant TDE tattoo on her arm. But I didn't know what TDE was. So she was just cool and was just like, I'm working with a bunch of artists. We're out in Compton. We're out in LA. I'm like, oh, that's dope. So she started sending me some music. She sent me some shit from an artist named J-Rock. And I was like, this dude's fire. And then next thing she knows, she's like, oh, we got a single with Lil Wayne and will.i.am called In the Ghetto. That was J-Rock's like first big single. I think he was on Warner, if I'm not mistaken. He was signed to Warner. And so obviously I got to bill with them. And like I would help them with like East Coast promotions as well while I was working at HipHopDX because I was sending like the music team music, but at the same time too, like also just kind of working with them on the side as well, just to help them like, oh, like, this person in New York, like connect me with them so we can do a show. You know what I mean? Just like little things like that. So over time, I was working with them. I wasn't getting paid, just to be honest. They were a new label. And honestly, I was working at HipHopDX and it was an opportunity to me because I thought it was cool. So I was just pretty much just helping them out. But in return, they sent me merch, dude, like signed stuff. Yeah. And then J-Rock, actually, I asked if he could send me a verse. And he said, yeah. So he was like, cool, we'll send you a verse. So they sent me a verse back on one of my boys' beats. And basically, they're like, oh, like they had this other artist named KDot that I wasn't super familiar with. He was newer, and I only heard like a little bit of stuff, and I knew he was young, like 16 years old maybe. But I'm like, they're like, he's changing his name to Kendrick Lamar. Like, I'm like, okay. They're like, can you get on it too? I was like, yeah, hell yeah, whatever. Like, let's do it. So they sent me this verse back with Kendrick Lamar and J-Rock, and then I heard the verse that Kendrick gave me, and I'm like, holy shit, this dude is gonna be great. Like, I knew it. I'm like, he's better than J-Rock. Everybody I showed it to was like, dude, this dude's better than J-Rock. I'm like, this dude is special. And J-Rock's amazing for the record. He's like one of my favorite, more modern day rappers. I just love his just like grittiness, just his realness. And I just feel like he's a dope artist overall. But anyhow, so obviously I'm like, holy shit. And I think over that time too, like of working with them and really, and then finding out about Absol and Schoolboy Q and really how they operate. And I got to meet Punch, who is still there to this day. Unfortunately, the girl doesn't work there anymore. There was a falling out. I don't know the whole story, but that's how I lost kind of my contact, because that was really my direct person I work with. So she opened up a lot of doors for me on that level, but also too, she opened up a lot of doors for them. So I definitely want to give her props. I think she was a big part of them having a big come up. She was a hustler. So again, I don't know really what happened, but I know they don't work together anymore. But so yeah, so over that time, that was like 2009, 2010. Yeah, obviously at that time, J-Rock got bigger, Kendrick, and then Drake co-signed him, and it was a wrap. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, I lost that relationship, but it was really cool to like see it happen and really like have these memories and stories to tell. So that's dope. I'm just trying to think if I missed anything. So yeah, man, I got to talk to Wiz Khalifa face to face back in the day on like a video call before he really blew up, and I think it was for a contest or something. But I got to meet like a lot of dope artists and people who were really on the come up. Machine Gun Kelly, I met at an Underground Hip Hop Awards. He actually asked to take a picture with me. Swear to God. I swear to God, I'm not even I'm not even trying to act Hollywood like, oh, he asked me for a picture. No, it was, I knew this girl named Sincere, shout out Sincere. And so she probably, if she would ever hear this, she would laugh and be like, yep, like, but I came off stage, we won like the best hip hop website at the Underground Music Awards, or I think that's what it was for. I actually have, I think it's right back here, the award. Yeah. Underground Music Awards 2010. It's that clear thing back there. You guys can't see it if you're not seeing the video of this, but it's back there. So basically, I came off stage. She's like, yo, this is an artist I'm rocking with. His name's Machine Gun Kelly. I don't remember if it was Machine Gun Kelly or MGK. I think it was Machine Gun Kelly. It's like, oh, what up, man? Dude, I met 100 people that night. Everybody was introducing me to their artists, but that's what you do, and I'm there for it. So, but yeah, can I get a flick? Yeah, dude, back. Nice to meet you, bro. Next thing you know, year later, I think he released that Lace Up mixtape or whatever it was, dude. That dude was off. You know what I mean? He was off and running. So I never saw the picture. I would love if somebody could find it. That'd be dope. But so yeah, like just cool shit like that. Like I met a lot of people on the come up. And I've always just been a fan of that, the come up, watching people go from that hustle and that grind, being in the trenches to, getting to that next level. To be honest, once the next level comes, I kind of lose interest. I don't know. It's just, that's just me personally. And I think that's why I resonate with BeatStars so much, because it's that hustle and really building, you know what I mean? So in 2014, I left HipHopDX. I had an opportunity to work with this like independent label, and who was also putting together a hip hop reality show with like DJ Khaled, T.I., DJ Drama, Twista, Crooked I was a host, Sway was a host, King Tech, his partner, was a judge. No, Crooked I was a judge too. We had a bunch of people on it, man. So actually, a year or two before that, before I left HipHopDX, Abe, the CEO of BeatStars, reached out to me on LinkedIn about being on some type of like marketing podcast or something like that. So I was like, yeah, cool. So I guess he saw me or heard me somewhere or whatever. So we ended up building, right? We had built like a good rapport. He told me about BeatStars. I really didn't understand it, and I was obviously doing a lot. So when I left, I basically was going to just work on that show, but like the site they had was just not good, and the voting system was just not good. Wasn't up to par. So I asked Abe if he would be like down to help us with it, and we ended up, he ended up coming on and helping, obviously, like build a lot of the technology side of things with the dev people he worked with at that time, and he was part of it. So me and him got to work on this show together. And so we would travel to all the cities together and, sometimes share hotel rooms or be next door, whatever it was. Like, we got to spend a lot of time together and got to really, I guess, know each other better. I learned more about BeatStars over those years. So also while I was working on this reality TV show, it was like maybe a year and a half, 2 years worth of work, give or take. I started my own like marketing agency too, called Mad Management, MAAD, stands for Music, Artist, and Distribution. I actually had the company for years and years and years before that. But I finally kind of was like really running in my actual company. So I would pretty much offer like social media marketing services, help people build communities. So I work with like Dat Piff, worked with DJ Booth for a little, a site called Hip Hop Lately, which was owned by Dat Piff at that time and still is, I think, or might be separate. I'm not sure. I think I did some shit for Atlantic Records, like a ton of artists. Yeah. Ton of different artists, just a lot of different shit. So I was also helping Abe with BeatStars social media. So I was kind of helping him grow and build that and be kind of a voice for the community during those years. So we got to do this reality show together, plus talk about how we could build the community up. And I learned more about the community. So the show ended up getting bought by BET. It was on air for 1 year on BET, and that was it. Because in my opinion, there was a lot of reasons why, but dude, it just was not run properly at the end of the day. There wasn't, long story. But it could have.
Is there any way to see it now? Like,
Yeah, it's called One Shot. It's called One Shot.
One Shot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that
A couple
out.
episodes got me in the credits too.
Dope.
So it's pretty dope. Yeah, but dude, I met so many people, built so many relationships. I got really close with Crooked Eye and his brothers, the Horseshoe Gang. You know, I was working with this artist named Chantel. I think she even won a Grammy, or at least was nominated. She actually grew up same island that Rihanna grew up in, and was Rihanna's drill sergeant, because every girl, man, woman, everybody, dude, on that island has to serve in the military there. It's pretty interesting from what I remember. So, but she was big. She had a song. I freaking can't remember what the song was called, but she had a monster record. Like, I'm pretty sure one double, triple platinum, something. But she was really big. She had a huge fan base. But she ended up working with us on the independent label too during that reality show. So I actually put a song with her and Joyner Lucas together before Joyner Lucas blew up. I still have it, but it never got put out, unfortunately. But so I got to kind of get to know Joyner and his team and his people a little bit too before he took off. So yeah, but anyway, so during that time, like I said, like doing the reality show, since Crooked Eye and his brothers, the Horseshoe Gang, were involved so much, I was helping market Horseshoe Gang's music and anything those guys really needed. Crooked Eye now is King Crooked, but I mean, he's an OG in the game, dude. He's been around since the Death Row days. Like, he's been around forever. So basically, I became friends and cool with Sway, the radio host too. So because he was the host of the whole reality show. So we went to dinners and all sorts of shit, right? And I worked with his partner, King Tech, a lot personally, just like on the show. We got to build a really great relationship, and I talked to him to this day from that show. So basically, he had Funk Volume up there one time on his show, and they were saying they would destroy anybody in a rap battle.
Yeah.
And they said they put $1 million on it. So I called up just literally because I knew Dame, who was, the CEO of Funk Volume before, from HipHopDX. I remember him sending me music back in the day. That's how I knew Dame. So I already kind of like knew them, but didn't have a relationship with Funk Volume. So I literally was like, fuck it, I'm going to call up Sway. I'm going to shout them out and just be like, yo, you guys are fucking killing it. You're independent. I love it. Keep doing your literally just to show love. What I didn't know was Sway was going to be Sway, and he was going to bait me into some shit. And I think I just smoked like a giant blunt, so I think I was like stoned out of my mind. So they get me on the phone, and then I hear them live. I don't think they talked about the battle in the million yet. I think I just called because they were talking about their journey, and that's why I was like, yo, I just want to shout them out. But while I was on hold, that's when the battle shit came up. And they were saying they'll roast anybody for millions. So then they brought me in. I was like, yo, Sway, what up, man? It's Mike Trampe. Yo, Mike Trampe. Da, 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 da. He's like, yo, before I could say anything, he's like, yo, you just heard what Funk Volume said, right? You heard what Funk Volume said, right? Like, I'm like, oh, fuck. Because he knew I have Horseshoe Gang. Yeah. And these guys are lyrical monsters. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I heard it. I was like, tell him to run it up. I was like, Horseshoe Gang, Crooked Eye will roast all these dudes. And I'm like, here we go. I'm like, yep. So they're like, if we get $1 million, we'll do the battle, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, word, I already got 220. Or I was like, they're like, get half. I was like, well, I already got 225. I just got to go get the other 225. Yeah. So in my head, I'm thinking that's 500,000, but obviously it's 450K. Like I said, I think I was stoned, and I was just like, da da da. So I don't think they realized it at the time, but it was just whatever, some shit. So I guess from there, I don't know if Funk Volume said anything else on Twitter. But Horseshoe Gang put out a diss, and the diss was nasty, man. The first one they put out was nasty, and I think they were a little surprised, and I think even their fans were like, "Oh shit, like these dudes can actually fucking rap." So Funk Volume came back, and it was on a KDot beat too, and I knew KDot at that time, but I didn't know him how I know him now. So he was on the beat. Obviously, Dame was the CEO, and then these guys rapped, and they the Jaron Benton dissed me on the record. He put my bad math on the record and called me out and told me to learn how to fucking count. And after that, dude, I had Funk Volume fans making disses about me and threatening me. Not like gonna kill me or anything, but just like, you're a bitch, dude. Learn how to count. I'm like, oh man, this is bad. So I just used it and played it. And I'm like, this is funny. So then I think Funk Volume put that out, and then Horseshoe Gang came back with another one, which was still dope. Yeah. But not as good as the first one.
That was it, though.
And I think they put out one. Yeah, I think the idea it was just those two actually that came out. So that shit kind of died down, I think, and then obviously Funk Volume went through. And then funny enough, like KDot and me got to meet through BeatStars and all these different things. And now Dame's working at BeatStars, like it has been pretty much for a while. So all these guys that people were like, oh, don't you have beef with them? Maybe like fucking no, dude. This is hip hop, like not at all. Like definitely
and even
not beef.
Dame and Hop like hashed it out. eventually. So like it comes and goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was like back then. People would be like, "Oh, like you're gonna talk to them, like, da-da-da." Like what? Like people who are not involved with the situation always assume and think they know the most. You know what I mean? Like they just, oh shit, you dissed somebody on whack. Dude, I was laughing. I've definitely joked around with Jared Benton around about that, dude. I think it's hilarious. I think it's part of hip hop history. Like, I look at it as something dope. Like I need a Wikipedia. Someone write me a Wikipedia, and you need to put that in there. But no, so just I know the story is like 80,000 hours long, but I wanted to give it from start to finish from what I can remember. But yeah, man. I mean, just from there, like I'd say like 2016, me and Abe had a really dope conversation, and I really started to understand the platform. I started using the product more, really understanding everything. Like we had all the technology and all the shit. You know what I mean? Because I even to this day think some producers don't realize how much stuff is available for them on BeatStars. So once I really dove in, I was like, dude, fucking future, man.
Yeah.
Like this is everything that I always wanted to do within music in like one place. Like direct to fan sales and like keep your data and obviously get paid instantly. Like, you know what I mean? I'm all about just that. So when I really understood it, I ended up shutting down my marketing agency. I managed an artist named Jay Tech around that same time. And that was kind of like the one thing I was like, dude, I just started managing this kid. I fucking love him. He's like a little brother to me. I just can't let it go. Yeah. Abe was totally cool with it. And honestly, took him in with open arms, supports him. Like, so much love for that. But from there, it's just, I just came on full time, and I've been full time at BeatStars from like 2016 on. And then obviously a lot of shit happened. Old Town Road got bought from BeatStars, and every other week there's a placement now. We have publishing, and we're fucking putting out more hit records than in most major companies, within a year, and just doing incredible work and just helping people, like, you know what I mean? Make money off their music. So, bro, it's just like, that was like a 40-minute story, wasn't it? That was a long ass story. I told you, dude. You can ask me one question.
Hey, it was a great story.
Yeah. There's a lot to be said. But I do want to so getting into some of the topics that we had in mind. I do want to circle back to something that you mentioned, which is you met a lot of artists early on in their careers, some of which you didn't even know who they were. Probably no one did, or most people didn't. And considering that, thinking retrospectively, who are some of the artists that probably amazed you more with the journey that they came through after knowing them? So like Kendrick Lamar, you didn't know who he was. And obviously Kendrick Lamar is now who he is, right? Like he's one of the top MCs in the game right now. Like who surprised you the most with their journey?
It's interesting you say that about him too, because he hasn't released a record in like ages. You know what I mean? But he's still the best. You know what I'm saying, dude? That's. I mean, I think you answered your own question to an extent, dude. I think the greatest story I've ever been around has to be Kendrick. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I was part of it or I'm the one who got him. Nothing. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I was there. You know what I mean? I just want to make that clear because people be clout chasing out here and trying to claim this that, but I was there, dude. They'll tell you I was there, and I got to see a lot of cool shit, man. I watched a young kid develop into one. KDot was his rapper name. Into fuck it, I'm gonna use my full name of this long full name and just change my image and kind of change my appeal, and really understood what he wanted to do, and he stuck to it. You know what I mean? Like, and when I say he changed, I'm not saying change like, oh, he was trying to fight into what other people want. No, it's he changed into who he is. Exactly. and really who he was supposed to be. Yeah. And he's like, this is who I am. This is the music I'm putting out, and this is it. So him, dude, his story is just crazy, man. Because literally, I remember he followed me on Twitter. And I think he had 137 or like 337. I feel like it was a 37 number in there somewhere, but it was low when he followed me. And he still follows me to this day, which is super dope. He doesn't answer my DMs, but it's all good. No, I know. I've pinged him like 5 times in the last 6 years, and he doesn't respond though. But at one point he did. You know what I mean? Same with J-Rock. So it's like just a cool experience to be able to actually interact with them and actually see what they were doing and understand their vision and then watch that vision play out. Because J-Rock's super successful too, man. From what he did on the major label side, then TDE overall is like almost like a group. And then obviously he signed with Strange Music and worked with Tech Nine, which to me was like the perfect fit because it's just, that's the type of hustler he was. So yeah, but definitely it has to be Kendrick, man, because it's just, you're talking about one of the greatest rappers of all time, in my opinion. Like,
no, for sure.
Top 25 for sure. Top 10. Probably. I don't know. I'm not going to get in the list, but
he hits all bases as a rapper.
That's what I mean, bro. Honestly, yeah. And list though, man, it's just like that's all subjective anyway. I really don't do lists when
Yeah,
people
for
ask me.
sure.
Like I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, I'll give you 25 people I like, but I'm not going to tell you who I like the most. Like I don't really look at music like that. But anyhow, that's kind of like I don't know. I feel like that's kind of like I don't know. I feel like a lot of these lists and shit are not actually involved in the creation or the business of the music. They make these fucking lists.
Because it's so subjective. There's so many variants for you to take into account.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, bro. I don't look at music like that. Like that's just me personally. I don't love one artist more than another. You know what I mean? I think everybody, not everybody, but the greats are all unique in their own ways, and that's how I look at it. Like that. Like, I feel like this today, so I'm listening to this person because they're great at what they do, and it matches my
Yeah,
vibe.
exactly.
But yeah, man, I think Kendrick, obviously, like I said, MGK. I didn't see any of his come up personally. Like Kendrick, how I was actually talking to them and part of kind of that process to an extent. MGK, I just met one time, but obviously his shit was dope. To see him kind of take another almost like independent route, kind of with like a totally new sound and like just vibe and just overall, just people liked it, man. The kids are into it. So I'm trying to think who else, man. And there was a lot of other rappers that I got to work with in some capacity, like someone like Sky Zoo, who I've judged showcases with him, or I think he's been on one of my producers' beats a few times. Like, so working with people like that. I got to work with like Duck Down for a little while and like what they were doing. We did a lot of contests with them. There's actually a video on YouTube of me bringing like 5,000 mixtapes. I used to have a duplication machine, bro. So that's another thing I did at HipHopDX. I used to duplicate all the mixtapes and just down, dude. And then fucking have to stuff them, all that hand-to-hand guerrilla marketing shit, man. That's what I had to do.
Yeah.
But so I go, and they'd send me up to New York, and I have a video of that on YouTube if you look it up. I don't know what it would be under, but it's on there. And basically just deliver all these mixtapes that, we did the artwork. So it's just, have the artwork delivered, buy the blank CDs, duplicate them, bring them all up there. And then they would hand them out, send them out, all this different stuff. So that was cool too. That's not really an artist, but it was really cool to see kind of like Duck Downs come up. They were around already for a little while, but they're continued to come up, and till this day, they're still killing it, dude. You know what I mean? They're cemented in hip hop. So that's dope.
Yeah.
Dude, bro, there's just so many,
I
man,
love
to be. Their stuff's great. Eminem was signed with them too. Can you imagine?
Damn.
Like back before Dre signed them.
When he was with Base One and stuff.
I don't know if he was with.
Yeah, he had a group with Base One, Eminem.
Oh, Pace One, you said.
Yeah, Pace One.
The
The
Outsiders.
Outsiders,
Yeah. Oh, I work with Pace One too. I'm in a video with him too. I got send you guys a link. It's funny.
That's
my
awesome.
random ass is just like in the club or wherever we were, just shaking, looking like an idiot. But no, Pace One's actually a super dope guy, man. Really, really. I got to meet him numerous times. But yeah, no, it was it might have been around the Pace One and Outsiders time. Bro, they had so much potential, man. So much potential. The Outsiders and Pace One.
Yeah, bro.
I feel like they don't get their credit, but yeah, no, man. It's just there's so many artists I worked with, man, over that time that Kendrick has to be the biggest success and just the most interesting story. The Joyner's story is cool too, because like again, when we did the song with him and Chantel that never came out, he was just he was buzzing where he was from. Don't get me wrong; it's not like he was just some random dude. No, he was definitely buzzing, but he wasn't at the level he's at now. But when I heard when he did that Ross Cappuccino or whatever that guy is, I call him Ross Cappuccino because I always forget his name. But that story's just wild, man. Shout out to that dude for even pulling through that shit. Most of us probably wouldn't. But when he did that shit, I was like, "Oh, this dude's gonna be a star." That was it. That's all I needed to see was that, dude. That song told me what I needed to know about Joyner. So that was cool. But I kind of already knew he was gonna. Same with Kendrick. I was like, "It's over. This dude's gonna be huge." And even before Dre got him, you could just hear it.
Yeah.
So some people just have it, man. And I don't know what it is, but I know when I hear it, it's like, "Yep, that's gonna be big."
Because it stands out.
It's just it's so relatable on so many levels, man, to so many people. And when you have shit that you could scale like that, it's like you have a never-ending marketing, audience. You know what I mean? Like there's so many people to market it to. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but there's a lot of cool stories, man. A lot of cool. I've worked with not only just meeting these people or working with them. Honestly, I probably worked with more local, like Philly artists and surrounding area artists than I did major people. Because again, I thrived and I still thrive in working with people who are on the come up and who want to work. And then that's what I really get into it, because it's like if they're putting in the same amount of work I'm putting in, like if we match that and I can teach them things as well, and over time they're teaching me things, that's like the best relationship. So that's really what I focus my time on, a lot of different Philly people as well. And yeah, some of them, don't even, make music anymore, or some of them, do it, but it's not really paying the bills and have regular jobs. It sucks. I wish everybody, and that's why I push BeatStars again so much, because of like the opportunities for people to be able to grow a business in so many different, ways.
Yeah.
Not just rely on putting out, a song, you know what I mean, or an album. Like obviously that's the core of everything, but there's so much more out there, bro. But anyway, yeah, hopefully that answered the question.
No, I definitely did. Darrell, you can go ahead with yours.
Oh, okay. It's my turn. Now I'm gonna tell my story. No, I'm kidding.
It's funny.
Oh shit.
What's your craziest industry experience that you've had, if you ever had any? Like dealing with, have you had crazy people that you had to deal with?
Yeah, man. I'm not going to be too specific here, but people trying to blackmail you, extort you for shit.
Damn.
It's fucking real, dude. Yeah, there's some really bad people within the music industry. There's some bad people in life in general.
Yeah.
there's straight up con men and master manipulators running around, the music industry. But there's those people in every industry, right? But at the same time, there's great people in the music industry. So I think sometimes when I say stuff, man, people think I'm like anti-industry or no, dude, I'm anti-pieces of shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like pieces of shit people.
Right.
Like, treat me how you want to be treated. Like, cool. Like, if you like being abused and stolen from and taken advantage of, stay away from me. Like, if you're not willing to learn, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be around people who let people walk all over them or the people who do the walking. So I'm like in the balance, right? Like I want people to understand their value and how to set precedent and all these different things when it comes to business. And I don't want to, so if they're not willing to do that and they're just going to why would I be in a relationship that's toxic like that, right? So I'm not interested in that. But I'm also not interested in being up with the people who are up there like, hey man, you wanna fucking get them to sign a work for hire? Okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's take it. Yeah. Want to steal that producer credit? Like, dude, there's people that do that. I don't want to be around that either. I want to just be in my lane, being cool with everybody and adding value to everybody, and they add value back. And anybody I work with also has to be, given that same respect. That's how I do business. So, but yeah, man, there's definitely people out there. Maybe it was 10 years ago, maybe it was 5 months ago, maybe it was 20 years ago. Who knows? But it goes down, bro. Some people, man, are just that's how they eat. They prey off of other people and how they can manipulate and kind of take advantage of them. But I say all that too, dude, not to like scare people about it. Again, I think you can run into those type of people anywhere.
Yeah, true.
But I mean, other crazy shit, I think it was like anything else, like too insane. Nah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to brag or be cocky, but it's just like, even when I was younger in the music industry, the people I surrounded myself with just kind of like taught me things. And then I also had some friends who aren't here anymore too, like, that were just fucking wild people. And like, you did anything or acted a certain way towards me, you're getting your jaw tapped very quickly. So it's just the truth. So I never really was pressed on that level, man. You know what I mean? That like I had to run into bad business. Like everybody's always done good business. But again, I don't think that's because like, oh, people were scared. Like, no, I think it's more or less like people are just like, well, he gives off good vibes and does good business. Like, let's just keep this relationship because there's value there. Yeah. So I'm lucky, I guess. You know what I mean? But I set myself up to be lucky. So you just have to just be cautious and do business good yourself and show people how you get down and kind of that you're not an idiot. And I don't know, man. I don't think there's a perfect formula, but it's just, you know what I mean? It's just a crazy thing. It's just there's good people and bad people. Any industry, though. Any industry. True. So that's it, though. That's all I got for crazy stories. I'm trying to think.
I thought you were going to tell us a story of somebody flipping out and throwing things and getting into fights.
Oh, people flipping out? All right. I thought you were talking about some like insane shit, like I got shot at or something.
No, nothing like that.
I did have a gun pulled on me and put in my face, but that was when I was like 17 trying to buy weed in North Philly.
Oh, shit.
Damn. Not in the music industry. Oh, dude, I think I was actually telling you this story, playing beats. Yeah. Russ, the artist Russ. Super dope artist, by the way. Shout out to you, Russ, if you hear this. It wasn't him, okay? I don't think this was him, but he had a partner, and I think he's still partnered with this guy. I think it's Diemon, Diamond. I don't know how to say his name. I'm not sure. I apologize. But when we worked at HipHopDX, they used to email us. And again, I don't think this was Russ. I think it was either this other dude or just some other person working with them. But they used to people would email us all the time their music. Yo, post my stuff on HipHopDX, because like I said, people were getting signed off of it. We're at minimum, we're building fan bases, a lot of different stuff. So it was a high commodity, right? but they would send emails and be like, play our fucking shit. If you don't, you're a piece of shit. Like, or I don't know if it was exactly that, but it was pretty much telling us to play their shit or go fuck ourselves, like literally. And they would send the same emails over and over and just keep cursing you out. But then you're like, who the hell are these people? And you're like, what? So you basically would listen to the music because you're like, you got to listen to the music because you're probably like, yo, this shit is going to be terrible. Because usually when people are rude, I'll tell you this over time of doing this almost 20 years, people who are assholes like that or just like claim they're the best, their music usually sucks. And it's something they have to face. You know what I mean? There's no fixing it except if they fix it themselves and look themselves in the mirror. But so, of course, you're like, this shit is going to be terrible. Dude, we opened it up and it was amazing. And it was like, damn. Fuck, well, what do you do when people are telling you to play their shit or you can go fuck yourself and the music's actually dope? It's like, I think I was like, fuck them, we're not posting anything because I was like, nobody's talking to me that way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Type of thing. Yeah. I don't remember. I think we posted it because it was dope. I don't know. Maybe we did it. And again, I'm not saying this was Russ or even that partner dude, but it was definitely someone with like putting their names and stuff in it. And there's got to be a story out there somewhere else with this story, man, because I remember it like clear as day. So that was kind of crazy and funny. And the first time I've ever seen anybody demand and act that way and actually be fire and then go on to actually be successful. So.
When being a dick actually works.
Right?
Bro.
Like a 1 in a million chance of that working.
Exactly.
That's what I mean, because it's like, yo, if we play this music, then it's going to like open the floodgates to everyone just cursing us out. Like, we're not trying to do all that.
Yeah. Bro.
Yeah, everybody starts using it. It works for him, so I'm going to do it.
But yeah, man, I've been cursed out a ton of times. Multiple times said that you don't belong in hip-hop, you're white, get the fuck out. Like, all that. But I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. I know I'm a guest, and I'm proud to be a guest. You know what I mean? I rep that shit to the core, so this is a lifestyle. So, but that shit is corny when you get, yo, you're fucking awesome. Check out my music. Da 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 da. And then I'm like, yo, you need to work on this. You don't know shit, white boy. Get the fuck out of hip hop. So I got a lot of that. Listen, I'm just being honest, man. I got a lot of that, but that shit doesn't bother me, man. That doesn't bother me. That's fine.
Because they don't want the feedback. They just want someone to praise them more.
Exactly, dude.
They just want
and then when I don't, it's like what's the easy blow? I get it, dude. If they could have saw me, they'd be like, all right, fat ass, or you know what I mean? Like, or some other fucking derogatory comment or something. Yeah. But it's fine. That's why I don't take that shit personally, man. It's just like, that's a shame. I actually am like, I'm really sorry you feel that way. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I prove different every day, like, that I belong here. Like, I've earned my stripes. You know what I mean? So, but I show and prove, man. It's easy to get angry. But yeah, cursing out shit all the time, man, over the years. Not as much now, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, no, because you know what? I think the position that I'm in right now, man, I think things have evolved, first of all, over time. And people have gotten more open-minded just about a lot of stuff and just relationships and just education in the music. So it's gotten better. But I think also, too, with BeatStars, there's really no room for a lot of that. You know what I mean? Because even if I'm giving you a critique on your beat, it's always positive. I never tell you suck. And I never told anybody like that they suck either, just for the record. But I just think the producer community is a little different than the artist community. And it's nothing against artists, but I think they're just a little bit more nicer the majority of the times. And they can take feedback better. And honestly, again, the BeatStars community is really just about growth and opportunity. And we're helping people pay their bills. With this, it's just like sending an email to some guy who works at HipHopDX and you know what I mean, play my shit on your site. Like, you know what I mean? There's no other relationship or communication going on. So I think it's a little bit more blunt and just forward. So I think that's why it's changed, dude, because I've changed my environment. You know what I mean? I'm not really still around artists, but not as much. But also it's just I'm around this community that people either know me or they're going to get to know me or whatever it is. So there's just a lot more organic growth, like relationship-wise. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I've given you value 3-4 times and then you ask me music and I'm just honest, you're not going to tell me to go fuck myself. Why? Like, oh, this guy has helped me out 4 different times. You told me one thing. Yeah, it sucks. You might call me an asshole when you get off camera or off phone. Fine, that's fine. But I just think people realize, like, why would I do that? But if people don't know you and just, oh, you're a role, you're a person who does this, let me send you this. You don't like it, now I can just, curse you out. So I think that's why, man. I think that's why it's changed, over time and just where I'm at.
Yeah, speaking of changes and evolving, what are some of the changes that you've seen for the greater good over the industry? And what do you think is like things that you feel like is going bad or going worse in the industry over the years?
Interesting question. Well, I think the easiest answer here is BeatStars is going good. But I mean, I'm just being honest. I work here, you know what I mean? Like, and I work here for a reason, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be here, you know what I mean? I believe in everything. So yeah, I feel like we're a huge, asset to the creator community. And we align with them on so many different levels, and it's just been going up, since we've been around. So, I think, yeah, I mean, we're able to do it all, help people build their businesses, with publishing, distribution, Beat ID, like, and there's so much more coming. There's just so much value, right? So I feel like BeatStars is providing that for a lot of people, and for the people who don't know, they definitely should, because everybody can benefit on a creator level to have a BeatStars, even graphic designers and things like that.
Yep.
I mean, people, producers and rappers need artwork. Like, there's business out there. So yeah, I think we are really a huge light on an industry that I feel like has had a pretty dark cloud over it for a while.
And I'm gonna take that cue actually. And
Oh, snap.
you already know the rel.
BeatStars.com.
Exactly. Yeah. So Mike already gave a huge selling point for BeatStars. And BeatStars is sponsoring the podcast as usual. Thank you very much, BeatStars. Mike has been an icon within BeatStars for ages. I've also been working with BeatStars for 2 years, and Darrell and I, as producers, have been part of the community and within BeatStars since we started putting our beats out.
Yeah.
So yeah, BeatStars, digital music marketplace. You can sell your beats, you can sell sound kits, you can sell memberships, you can get creative and sell design services. If you're an artist, you can put your music out. You can sell hooks even. There's a plethora of stuff you can do with BeatStars. You can sell merch with integrated marketing tools. There's like nothing you need to go out of BeatStars to work your business. So definitely check out BeatStars.com. And if you want to test it out to its fullest, we are giving you the first month free of the pro page if you want to go full blast. And if you don't like it, you can cancel after the 30 days, but we're very sure that you'll want to keep using it. So if you want 30 days free off your first BeatStars month subscription, go over to beatstars.com/sell-beats and use the coupon code checkpoint. Again, you'll get 30 days. You can cancel at any point, but you won't. So beatstars.com/sell-beats and coupon code checkpoint. And yeah, BeatStars has been sponsoring us since the very first episode. We've come to find that a lot of people are actually using our code. So we are glad that we can help people get integrated with BeatStars, because there's so much to go through with the accounts, and we're just adding more and more tools for producers and artists and whoever uses the platform, that the free version just doesn't give you the full ride, and you don't know what you're missing out on. And yeah, I think it's an amazing tool. I mean,
Most definitely.
I had my own website. I ended up killing my own website and just going with the pro page because I felt like it was enough. Darrell, I know you always rocked with the pro page as your website as well.
Yep.
I mean, there's everything. If you do have a website, you can just use a Blaze player and put it up on your website. So you don't even have to choose between one or the other. You can have it fully integrated with your website. But yeah, going off of what you're saying with placements and all of that, there is like a move in terms of promoting music that I've been noticing more, obviously, with TikTok and Instagram Reels and all of that, which is artists seem to have this, I'm not going to say recipe, but it feels like regarding Tay Virch, for example, you remember his song Drugs that he was pushing heavily on TikTok, and it ended up being somewhat viral, if not fully viral, because I was getting hit with that on every single platform. And once the album finally came out, which has a lot of producers from BeatStars on it, even the homeboy Tantu, the way he did that, so making the song go viral so much that he created his huge buzz right before the album, I'm now seeing Anis the rapper do that. And his reels, I'm sure on TikTok as well, I haven't been on TikTok as much lately, but his Instagram reels have been like insane. So much so that he's been blowing up with his new song Sun and Moon, which has like a lot of people were waiting for it to drop. Do you feel like this type of push towards albums and music is becoming more and more of a thing and more of a solution rather than the usual drop a single, talk about it for a week or two, and then just build up to the album?
Yeah, I love it, man. For the record, Anis is dope. He is a star.
It's fire.
Yeah, he has the it I was talking about. That guy is a star, man. He's really, really talented. I just saw him performing on a beach with people just
Yeah.
surrounding him. And dude, if you look, I
And
didn't even
10-2 was
watch
there.
him, bro. He was.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I knew he was out in L.A. because like Greg had lunch with Tantu, I believe, but I didn't know he was actually out at the. He was actually out at that performance. You mean? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. I think it was.
Oh,
I
shit.
think he did a few of them, but I know Tantu was on one of them.
That is fire. I have to ask him about it. That's my guy, Tantu. But dude, if you haven't, go back to that video of him rocking out on the beach. But don't watch him. Only watch the crowd and pick individual people and zoom in or whatever you have to do to get a good look. Just look at people's faces and their emotions and how they know the words and just look. And dude, these are the things you can look at to see when fans act like this and are just so engaged. You know this person they're watching is somebody special. And that's what I got from him even before I saw that video because I've known about this guy for a while now.
Yeah.
And I think the newest single, Secco, just did that, who just actually signed up for BeatStars Publishing. So shout out to him, man. Killing it.
Fire.
Yeah, super fire. But yeah, so I mean, like, I think it's a good way of rolling records out. I think tools are always going to change. So you have to be adaptable, right? You have to be able to adapt to different situations and different tools and what makes sense for you. So if you find something that works, stick with it. Because I tell people to try everything out. And if something works, stick with it. You know what I mean? Like, if that's a great way to get your stuff out there and build momentum and just build more, people running to go listen to it or come see you live, I think you should stick with that. So is it for everybody? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's the question. If you think like everybody should try it or if everybody should at least, think about it or see what works, maybe. But I think it's successful for Anis specifically because, again, he's dope as shit. And so it's easier for him to use some of these tactics because his music and his just whole demeanor and how he presents himself and how he presents his music overall is just that dope. So people are going to gravitate towards it. So he's just finding different ways, in my opinion, that are working to get him even bigger. And he'll continue to do the same thing, I'm sure. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think everybody should probably follow that approach, but again, if you have the market and you're it's proven and you're putting stuff out and it's working, yeah, stick with it for sure. I guess everybody could try it out and see, but I just think he's so dope, man, that he anything he does marketing wise, that's gonna get him out there more and more people hear his music and then get to see him perform live at these remote places like on the side of a beach. Dude, he's gonna blow up. He's gonna blow up quick. In my opinion. So we'll see. Let's talk again in like 6 months.
Yeah.
See what happens.
No, but definitely.
Quick. In my opinion. So
He's gonna go places because I've been hearing about him for maybe 2 months or so lately. Like always on blast. And I know it was the same with Tay.
I was watching a live video of Anis rapping, I want to say singing, rapping, whatever you want to call it, like I don't even know, man. Anywhere between 6 to 12 months, probably. I know that's a pretty wide gap. I just really don't remember. But I was watching a live of him rapping in a car, I think.
Yeah.
Killing it. I'm like, this dude is crazy. Next thing you fucking know, I look over and there's Justin Bieber in the chat. I'm like,
damn,
the
really?
fuck? Like, Justin Bieber's like, dude, I'm a huge fan. Or like, yo, y'all are killing it. Like, bro, you're a fucking star. I forget what he was saying. I'm like, what? I'm like, what is good? Because this is like when he didn't have a lot of followers. I know that. I mean, he had followers. He had a fan base.
Yeah.
Not like just somebody on there and there's like 7 people watching. No, I think he had a few hundred, even maybe a few thousand people in there. But it wasn't like 100,000 or something crazy. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, that's fire as shit.
Yeah.
I was like, I like Justin Bieber, man. He's in here. That's why I fuck with Justin Timberlake, by the way, man. He showed up at a whose concert was it? Oh, Brother Ali, because I interviewed Brother Ali. I don't know if you know Brother Ali.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I got I was supposed to interview that guy, and we ended up talking for 2.5 hours about like the Muslim religion, and he taught me so much. I never even released the fucking thing. I still have it. But anyway, that's why I like Justin Timberlake. I'll get back to what we were talking about. But Justin Timberlake, because dude, he showed up at I think a Minnesota concert, dude, like some like 400, 500 person like underground hip hop show, and Justin Timberlake was in the crowd rocking. So they brought him up on stage, and he beatboxed the whole time while Brother Ali was kicking a freestyle. Bro, it's so fire. Bro. Justin Timberlake, a real legit hip hop head. So anywho, so that's why I was like, once I saw this with Anis, I was like, holy shit! I was like, yo, Bieber's another Timberlake. Like he's in there. Like I love that shit, man. When I see like bigger stars, quotation mark. I mean, like,
Support
you know,
people in the
but like shit you like, yo, I like this, and it's like, oh shit, he likes it too. Like, okay, cool. Wow, this is more confirmation. I know this guy's dope. Like, you know what I mean? Just to see that type of stuff, or just know that he's out there. Because, dude, that is where the music lives. It starts just from whatever, doing something on TikTok, or back in the day, it was starting from rapping on the corner or small shows, dude. And like that is really the growth, man. That's looking back on that stuff is just awesome in my opinion. So it's cool to see other people there of that, you know, I guess stardom. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, Anis, man, he's dope. He's really, really dope. Who was the other person you said? The first artist, Jay, or who'd you say?
Tay.
Taj, what, T-A-J? Taj?
T-A-I.
Oh, Verdes? V-E-R-D-E-S?
Yeah.
The
TV
I don't know why I say
album.
Taj. Yeah, he had the Stuck in the Middle record too, right?
Yep. A-OK.
Yeah, he's dope too.
Drugs.
Yep. He's dope.
Had a few more. Yep.
We work with a couple of the producers that were on that project too. That's how I remember that. A lot of music, man. A lot of music. But yeah, another one's dope. Honestly, though, Anis sticks out more to me than him. Personally. I might have more committed or invested into Anis, though. So I might be biased here because I don't think I've listened to enough of
I
the
feel
other.
the same. I do like Tay a lot, and I think the whole album was solid. I do find some similarities in terms of style, but I do feel a bit more geared towards Anis. I don't know. It might be the likability, like you're saying, like his whole personality. Like there's not much. It goes back to what we were saying about Kendrick, where he just started being himself, and that's what made him blow up. And Anis is just himself. It is just full bowl of positivity and just trying to make everyone just be happy and all that shit. And that's like, I feel like that's what makes people get geared toward this, especially when there's so much toxicity on social media and just in general. When you see this fucking rainbow of happiness just blowing up your feed, you just get geared towards it.
Great. I thought you were gonna say a rainbow like tatted up, dude. I thought you were my Tekashi 6ix9ine. I was like, oh god. He's coming out with some more music. He saw his video yesterday he put out. It's like him in a bathtub and I don't know what the hell's going on with some old like weird looking lady. It's weird, man. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm just like, what, man?
It's just like all antics and stuff. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Music's terrible, so.
I actually kind of did like his early stuff though. I can't lie. Like I felt like the energy he brought was pretty good. I like that energy.
I agree, dude. It reminded me of that old New York Onyx, just loud in your face. Obviously, completely different what they were talking about, but like the character element, again, not just the face tattoos, but character just coming from within, coming out like that. He had that rah rah New York energy, so I feel you on that. And he did have some shit that was kind of like okay. But it's just, dude, I couldn't. It was the antics, the hair color. It's just, I knew he wasn't about that. Like, it's just like, come on, bro. I know this is fake. Like, that's what I can't connect with. I know it's really about the music at the end of the day, but yeah, man, it's just like sometimes that realness and you know, it's got to be legit, man, to really cut through certain things. So, but no, I hear you. I definitely think he did have some. But overall, I just feel like what other value is his music adding? Like, he's caused so much turmoil and drama.
True.
In hip hop, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's like one big troll, like a hip hop troll, pretty much.
That's it, bro.
Exactly.
You bringing a lot of heat and a lot of eyes, like you know, to a business where a lot of people don't want a lot of heat, a lot of eyes on them. But I forget what the original question was. I think it was just kind of the TikTok thing and using all that. But bro, you know, I'm an advocate for TikTok for everybody. Even if you're not on there making your own content as a creator, artist, producer, you should be releasing if it's your beats. If it's your songs, you should be releasing them on DSPs because they deliver to TikTok. So then if somebody uses your music on there, instead of it just saying original sound clip and nobody knows what the fuck it is, it will say your name in the song title or the beat title.
There's even one of the most used sounds is from a producer on BeatStars, right? I forget his name.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, so fuck, now why am I forgetting his name?
I think it starts with an L. I might be wrong here.
No, I think it starts with Tundra Beats.
No. Tundra Beats too, but that's not what who I'm thinking about. I forget too. Not gonna lie. It's like a chill beat. I forget, but yeah, even like BeatStars producers, like big sounds on TikTok. On TikTok.
Producers have to look at themselves like artists, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like your beats are finished products at times, or really at all times it is. But you want to add an artist or a singer or whatever. But dude, there's a lot of beats out there that I would just be like, Wish they didn't get on it. Like, I just want to hear the beat.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
But I do agree, and I think lo-fi music or lo-fi instrumentals open the door in a big way in that sense of making producers also comfortable with just releasing their instrumentals as albums rather than just waiting for an artist. And I'm not saying it was the only factor, but it was definitely like a major one because you go to chill hop, and although initially most people were listening to those instrumentals for like to chill or to study to and all that, it became so much of a trend that it helped people get more comfortable with it. That's why I released albums. That's why Darrell and I released albums together with no one singing on them because it's just I like listening to instrumentals. People clearly don't have an issue with that, so let's just fucking do it.
Yep.
yeah, dude. But like, I don't know how old you guys are, but I like when I was coming up and like growing up, Tuesdays everything would drop on Tuesdays. That was the day music came out. But you would go to the store and specifically too with vinyls, but they had cassette tapes and then until CDs came around. But if you bought a single of a song, you get the dirty, if it is dirty, right? A lot of the shit was dirty back then. Dirty version, clean version, acapella version,
And
instrumental version, and then maybe even the remix version. So I always suggest too with producers and artists who have a good rapport, because you're probably not gonna be able to do this with just somebody who leased your beat you never talked to and you're begging them to do this. No, you got to probably be somebody you are working with in studio or at least have a really open relationship with. But do the same thing on DSPs. Release the clean, release the dirty, release the acapella, release the instrumental, like release all the versions and just split everything 50-50.
I remember being in school and having the DJ Premier beats, the Ninth Wonder beats, and all that, and just
That's
like
what I mean.
freestyling with everyone. Like that was the clutch.
I mean, you could technically go on BeatStars and do that, obviously, right? I get it. You can do it on YouTube. You can do it. But again, it's just not everybody thinks the way we think or may forget. Whatever it is, they're already on their Spotify. It doesn't matter. There's millions and millions and millions of people on the platform. Like, why would you not want to put your stuff out? In the full opportunity and full capacity on a platform that has that much opportunity. So I'm just all about the opportunity, man. Like, you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And you make more money too. You know what I mean? That's obviously a benefit.
All right, that's always a plus. Get money.
Even if it's like 13 more cents, it doesn't matter. It's still more money.
Yeah.
Oh, I got 6 streams on the acapella version. It's like, fuck.
Bro,
Who cares?
Can buy a piece of gum I couldn't yesterday.
That's what I mean. Who cares? Dude, it all adds up. It all adds up.
Yeah.
All right, I got a tough question for you, Mike.
Uh-oh.
This is gonna be a tough one. Since you're from Philly, who's the king of Philly?
Rapper-wise?
Yeah.
See, I told you I don't like to do lists, man. This is why I don't do lists, because somehow, some way, I'm not saying the right answer, right?
We're gonna hold you up to
I'm
it.
just messing with you. I just wanted to see what your reaction was gonna be.
No, but you know what, man? There's oh man, it could go so many different ways. You go really old school to a lot of like the pioneers of Philly hip hop, and where you could take it obviously to someone like Will Smith, or easily can go to Beanie Siegel, and then of course Gilly's gonna have something to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, they're all dope, bro. I love them all. It's a tough question.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one king. I think there's a lot of people contributed to dope shit. So that's how I look at it. But
For sure.
it is a tough question because there's really no, there's not one answer. You know what I mean? Like there's not one answer. So nobody, again, it's subjective. But yeah, good one though, man. Good one.
No, but my real question is your thoughts on Philly battle rap. Like, were you ever into like the Philly battle rap scene? Or, like, who's your favorite Philly battle rapper?
Oh, dude, Cheek Raw, dude. I got to work with Cheek Raw for years and years. Even he went to the feds. I think he did like 2 or 3 years in the feds. I still was like talking to some of his people, and when he got out, we were able to do some stuff together. I still have some of his videos, I think, on my YouTube channel. So he was one of my favorites, man, coming up. And that's somebody who we recorded a lot at our studio that we had. And he's the one who brought Meek Mill through, and a lot of these other battle rappers, or not. The rappers, but a lot of them were just doing battle rapping at that time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so Cheek Raw was like one of my favorite. I liked him a lot. I like Reed Dollars, even though him and Cheek beefed at one point. I don't know if they still are.
Yeah, Reed is a legend for sure.
Reed is dope. Yo, honestly, man, I don't know if people clown on him, but I think because he was on Making the Band, people forget about Ness. Yo, Ness is a beast.
Ness is a
beast, bro. A beast. Yeah. So I've seen,
and he's still going at it.
Yeah, man.
Today, like, dude, still keeping up.
I went to a battle in Harlem I don't know what it was, but it was him versus I think my son or somebody. And then, dude, like, oh man, it was crazy, bro. There were so many people there. Swiss Beats pulled up. Cassidy's another one who was crazy at battle rapping, but he was more an artist, I feel like, but he could battle rap, like he was killing it. But no, dude, like we were mentioning NF and Kaboom. I remember them. I'm trying to think who else. Dude, there were so many. I used to listen to the what was the mix? So many. I used to listen to the I feel like it was Big something. Forget what it was, but it was a big Philly mixtape company who did all like the battles and shit, man. Big Star was what it was. Who it was? Dude named Big Star. He was the dude who had all these guys coming. You know what I mean, to do like different events and like different mixtapes and shit. But yeah, bro, there was a lot. Who was the guy? Joey. Who's the guy got knocked out on camera back?
Joey Jihad.
Joey Jihad. Yeah, I remember him. He was pretty dope too, man.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, but bro, there's so many.
Like the Philly scene really gave a lot to battle rap, and like the way that they flow, like that you can tell like a Philly battle rapper, the way they carry their flow and stuff like that. Man, I love it, bro. I love it,
bro. Philly MC's been eating people since the '80s, man. Like that's no, seriously, they've been eating people. Jack Frost, who's a friend of mine too, man, legendary Philly hip hop artist. You know, he made the greatest Philly hip hop song of all time, "Philly Love." You know, and he talks about Philly rappers going up to New York and just chewing people apart, man. Like, that's obviously New York's the birth of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all love, but it's just like Philly is just hungry, man. They just had that, like, that's why everybody came here, bro. Jay-Z came here to build his roster. Freeway, Beanie.
Right.
PD Croc was a star, man. I don't know what happened there. I don't know him enough to know his full story, but man, that dude was a star. He should be much bigger than he ever was in hip hop, in my opinion. Nobody has ever match what he brought, in my opinion. He's so unique and different. He's like an ODB, you know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna match that shit. Somebody who's just crazy, but obviously I think PD was a little bit more versatile MC wise than Older New Bastard, but style wise, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but that's why a lot of people came to Philly, man, to get their artists. You know, the Game came and got Cassidy, or not a Cassidy, that was Cicero, excuse me. The Game came and got Cicero. Cassidy was Swiss Beats. Just think about it, man. Philly was, dude, every big person. G Unit was trying to, they got Mike Knox, who's still down with G Unit to this day, but they were trying to sign Cheek Raw. I remember this. But then Cheek got locked up. I remember this, man. So every major label was trying to come grab people from Philly during that time. Crazy, man. Yeah. Crazy time. Good memories, man. Thanks for asking that question. I don't think about this shit a lot. You know what I mean? Like, it's so in my past of like, I know there's probably 30 different rappers that are dope that I'm just not thinking of right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because so many of them.
Or confusing. Like, I just said Cassidy for Cicero. Like, I mean, C's in my head. I'm like, oh, who is it? Like, but it's like, it's cool to talk about it, man. Because it's like, I was part of it, but I wasn't like super part of it. You know what I mean? But I was around it. You know what I mean? I won the battles and I worked with some of the artists. So I was definitely aware and very into that whole mixtape circuit and the Big Star battle DVDs. And like, you know what I mean? All the stuff that they did.
Bro, that's dope.
Good question.
You've been everywhere.
Well, I'm old, so that's probably why.
Oh man, stop.
Shit. Your experience.
Yeah,
that's what we're gonna
say. Yeah, seasoned.
Listen, we all get old, guys. So it's nothing to be ashamed of as you get older.
Not at all, bro.
So then you get more stories to tell. You know, 20 more years. Hopefully, I'm still here, and we can do this again. I'll have another 6 hours of stories to tell.
In 20 years, we still have our podcast. Let's hope so. Never know. But yeah, you do have a lot of stories. We tried to pack in as many topics as possible for about an hour. We went ahead of above an hour at this point. But
hey, it's good content, though.
Yeah, it definitely is good content. We appreciate you so very much for coming on the podcast. Sir. There's definitely it's really dope to listen to your experience and to get your insight on stuff with all of the history you have. So we very much appreciate you being on here. Is there anything you want to like let anyone know that's going on your end? You got open floor to shout out whatever.
Yeah, I mean that's BeatStars.com all day.
BeatStars.com.
if you're not aware, get aware.
BeatStars.com.
BeatStars.com.
Exactly.
But no, BeatStars Publishing, man, we're making a lot of noise, a lot of splashing in the publishing side of the industry, and working with some incredible artists and producers, and that's going to continue growing, and a lot of dope things just coming overall with BeatStars. So that's it. Check out my artist J Tech as well, Producer Whisperer. Got some cool stuff coming with that. Got some stickers that came in today for that. Working on some new sports cards with Producer Whisperer on it. just like shit I like to do in my
Let's
spare time,
go.
dude. That's fun, man. You know, that's
Yeah, gotta have fun.
that's about it,
Yeah,
man. You know, people know where they can find me at Producer Whisperer.
Yes, sir.
You know, and that's it. BeatStars. You know, holler at me.
Yeah. Go ask Mike to work without knowing who he is.
Let's work.
No. Yeah.
Let's work, man. What do you want to work on? I don't know. What do you do? I don't know. What do you do? I don't know. It's just like, what are we doing here?
Wasting time.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, well, if he's on second, then who's on third? I don't know. Who's on third? He's on first. I don't know who's on first, who's on second. Like, what are we doing? Jesus Christ. Yeah, dude.
Oh man.
Do your research, people. Do your research.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. And if you didn't do your research, hopefully this podcast opened your eyes a bit. If you didn't know who Mike was, then now you know a fair amount at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, Collab Gem, it's another one. You already know. You can follow up on latest news of Collab Gem at Collab Gem on all social media. If you want to hit us individually, The Plan Beats is also everywhere. Darrell Banks, search for his name because
Yeah, just type my name in. You'll find me.
Exactly. Hit us up. If you got any suggestions or questions, feel free to hit us up via email at collabjam@gmail.com or on our DMs, wherever you prefer. That's been another episode. Thank you, Mike, very much once again.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you having me on.
Yes, sir.
That's it. Let's go. Peace.
Peace.